Having said that, I'd like to say that the events of last week have had a dampening effect on many of my various enthusiasms, as I suspect it does on the people who've come here to speak tonight. There are larger concerns out about in the world than resolution to raise a little additional money for a modest-sized city school district. I can think of only one good reason of all those that I've heard bandied about and proffered not to offer this excess levy referendum. And it is, frankly, politically, a very good reason not to offer it. And that is that it might fail. I think most of us are inclined to offer very much the same excess levy a year from now, after the school board has made some tough decisions that we've been criticized for not having made. And the danger of offering it this fall and seeing it fail is that our very conservative voting population here in Duluth might take it as a precedent. Think to themselves a year from now, well, we turned it down a year ago, let's turn it down again, because it obviously wasn't good then, and it's probably not any good now. That's frankly a very compelling reason. To me, a politician, somebody who loves the schools, who does not want to see this fail this year or next. Since I've been on the school board for 6 years and 2 years before that, we have had austere budgets. People may remember a couple of levies that passed that added a little bit of juice to the district, but for the most part we have had 8 years of cuts. From the moment Member Mars got on the board, and the Miles administration, we cut and we cut and we cut to the bone. We were heading into a $5 million debt, and a series of excess levies like this one got us out and helped enrich a program that was already trimmed back badly. There have been people who've said, the school board doesn't know what it's doing. I don't think that's a fair characterization in the 6 years that I have been on the board and the 2 preceding me. We have been very careful with the public's purse. So careful, so tough in negotiations that we nearly came to a strike. The one sign that a school district is hanging very tough. And we won something in that negotiation, that strike year, that near strike year, that previous school boards had been completely unable to win. It was the ability to bid out insurance. And I hold that up as proof that this school board is among the most responsible school boards in the state. When in 1993 we offered an excess levy to pay off what would eventually become a $5.5 million debt, we said we were going to build up a 10% reserve. That reserve exists to this day. And it's because I want that reserve to continue on, and I want our school district to remain conservative and fiscally prudent. I think this is a can't-miss proposal, even if only 3 parents came and spoke on its behalf today. Because what this excess levy will do under the new state finance law is put every school board henceforth on notice. They cannot spend money willy-nilly on every project that a bunch of bleeding heart parents come and beg us is indispensable for their children, which was the case all to the 1980s, when every year we would get to the end of the school year and we would cut our faculty by 100, 150, 200 people. That has not existed in the last 8 years because of our prudence. What this levy will do is make every school board realize that if they're going to finance this school district, they've got to go to the voters of Duluth, who will watch them just as voters this year have been watching us. And if we have been, or any future school board is imprudent, when the time comes after 5 years to renew the levy, the voters will say, you people didn't do your job. So anybody who wants to enforce fiscal prudence on the board, and I am one of those people, this is the way to do it. And if we don't do it, what happens to the school district? I said we've been fiscally prudent. Over the last 3 school years, we have cut $10 million from our budget. That's over $3 million a year, which is why we have huge classrooms. May help explain why we have 200 fewer children in our school district. Not just because of declining enrollments, but because, by God, parents out there care about their kids these days. And parents are very creative when it comes to finding alternatives. And I'll bet some of those 200 law students come from families who say to themselves, I don't want my children going to schools that are overcrowded, whose programs are being cut. And if that cycle continues, while it will not be the ghettoization of the Duluth schools, it will be dire. $3 million over the last 3 years, every year cut. And next year we project a $2.6 million cut. And I've got to tell you, we have not gone through negotiations. That's the best case scenario. It could be 2.3, it could be 3.8, it could be $4.4 million that we're in debt next year. How will that affect our classrooms that are already bursting at the seams? How will that affect parents' desire to stick it out another year and wait on the off chance the voters get a little more generous next time around? Will they wait? How much will they put up with? I don't know. I don't know. All I'm offering tonight, all I want us to offer tonight is the voters a chance to evaluate our situation here in Duluth. My God, the city council is offering up a resolution on smoking, for God's sakes. This has to do with our children's education. I'm willing to trust the voters. And I will tell the voters right now that as for the last 6 years, if they decide they don't want this to pass, if they're not content with a $13 million cut in the school taxes, then I'll negotiate tough and I'll cut another $2 or $3 or $4 million next year, no matter what it does to our schools. It has been sneered at that only 3 parents came here today. Oh, that's no indication of concern. But let me draw your attention to something that happened not too very long ago. Last February, when 2,000 people descended on us like a horde of locusts for 3 days, heaped their abuse on us, and said, God damn it! We want our schools to be the best they can possibly be. That's why that's why they're leaving us. I know that people in this community care about their children a great deal. I don't often let emotion escape me quite like I did, and I apologize. It was a little over the top, even for me. But I can tell you that among the parents of the children of this school district, there is a great desire for us not to teach the school district a lesson and make tough decisions, but just to keep the program healthy. I hope the voters remember that, even if this resolution offering them the chance to vote on this levy is a bare majority. Thank you.